And on the 8th day, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God made a farmer.
Howdy folks, Darren back with you, Cross Timbers Farm. Welcome to 8th Day Chronicles. Glad to have you with us on this fantastic, gorgeous, can't use enough descriptive words to describe how beautiful this day is. Early September day. It's the first week of September. We are in our reclaimed hay field and we're preparing to cut hay. As you can maybe see behind me back here in the distance, the Kubota and the Kowalski / Farm Maxx 135 drum mowers sitting back there ready. We cut our test plot about 2 weeks ago. It's been almost 2 weeks. We were hoping to cut this as soon as we finished up there, but the weather dictated we couldn't. We had a little bit of rain, a couple of days of some pretty good storms blew through that delayed us. So now it's about a week and 5 days, almost 2 weeks later, and we're here to the reclaimed field. The name reclaimed field is living up to its name. This is going to be better hay than we got last year, but it's still not premium hay. It's getting there. We have got some panic grass in this field, and I am proud to say that our deer tongue is getting less and less. However, we're starting to see some foxtail. Some pretty, I wouldn't say an infestation, but we got some pretty good patches of it in different places. And we've still got a little bit of broom sedge that's starting to come up in a few places, not heavy. We're going to lime this field really heavy again this coming winter to help combat that. The foxtail may be a different story. There may be some little patches of ground that we have to till and plow in this reclaimed field. I don't know yet. We're just going to wait and see. But our good grass is back here. 2 thumbs up. They're doing fantastic. Orchard, Timothy, and tall fescue. And it's looking, the good grasses here are really good. This is better than it was last year. Still not there. This is a work in progress, and we accept that because we know that our work here in this field's not done. Far from it. But the progress we're making is getting better and better and better. It's coming along. It's a slow progress. But today we're going to cut this, and hopefully when we get done cutting it, we're going to ted it. Late afternoon, early evening. And we have plenty of time, I think, to get this mowed and then ted it this evening. We have to mow this field slow. It is on a significant slope. And we mow as far down the hill as we dare. I'm not a daredevil in a tractor seat, and I won't take unnecessary risks. No hay's worth your life. There is places on this field that we do mow and we cut and bale on that's significantly sloped. The actual degree of slope, I don't know. If you followed our channel very long, I've shown some pictures and videos of how steep this gets. And because of the degree of slope we have here, we cut it very slow. We keep our implement on the uphill side for weight distribution, for it to be hanging on the up, not off the far side. So you will notice we mow it slowly. We can take our time and cut it and be safe. So come along with us. Everything's hooked up, ready to go. We're ready to fire up this drum mower and start cutting hay. And we do still have our drum mower at 2 spacers. Very pleased with the cut quality we got in our main hay field for the 2nd cutting and our test plot for the 3rd cutting. It done fantastic. Regrowth took about 6 days longer to get to the same height that it would have been if we'd have cut it at 6 spacers under each drum. but the cut quality was so much better for this second and subsequent cuttings. First cutting was good at 6 spacers, was acceptable, I should say. Second cutting on the test plot at 6 spacers, not quite as pleased with it, so we dropped our cut height to 2 spacers. 2 thumbs up. Let's get started cutting. Mowing is complete. Every time I mow with that little Kowalski Farm Maxx FDM 135 drum mower, that little thing impresses me. I'm super happy. You ever had buyer's remorse about something? We all probably have at some point in time, whether it's a fishing rod or a truck or whatever. Could be something as small as a candy bar and you wished, I wished I'd have got that other brand. I've been so happy with that little drum mower. I've never had the first bit of remorse buying that thing. For the cost of a drum mower, that thing mows so good. Runs so good on our compact tractor. And our tractor is a Kubota L3200 four-wheel drive. I don't know if you saw some when I was mowing. Probably not. I don't know if the camera would capture that. You just had to be in the tractor seat to feel it. This hay's thick. I mean, really thick in places, especially on the lower end. It's thick. And when I was traversing the side of that hill, the tractor sitting like this, and I was leaned way up, I couldn't tell you how many times when I went through mowing, and you know your tractor's sitting over your tractor tires just where you've already mowed, and that grass down, and it's thick down there, and I was already on a slope. I couldn't tell you how many times my rear end and to see that tractor, I could feel that tractor go whoop, whoop, whoop. That back end sliding on that slick hay that just been cut. And I could be wrong, this is opinion, but I'm about convinced if I had not had ag tires that my sliding would have been a lot worse. I think if I'd had R4 tires that my tractor would have come on around a lot further than it did. I could feel those ag tires really grabbing. I'm glad I have them. On steep terrain, ag tires are, in my opinion, hard to beat. And I'm sure there's other opinions about tractor tires, and that's okay. Apply it to your situation, whatever's best for you. R4 tires may be fantastic, exactly what you need. Here on this steeper slope ground, these ag tires, I think today, I'm not going to say saved me from an accident, but I'm telling you, this is sloped, pretty significantly sloped on the bottom. And like I said, I could feel the back of my tractor several times. I could look where I had mowed when I came back around again, and you could see the mow line from the tall grass to where it had been mowed. You could see it like that in several places. Almost every trip until I got up about 5 or 6 passes up. It was just like it'd go real straight for a little bit and you'd see the grass do like that. That's where that back end was sliding. I could really feel it in the tractor seat, and I could feel those front tires really grabbing. This is a dandy little tractor too. Never let me down the first time. But anyway, the hay's cut. It's only so-so hay. Really good grasses, and we're starting to get a foxtail problem back here. We had a major foxtail problem in our test plot extension. Really happy with the control we have gained on the deer tongue. Man, I'm telling you, there's not much of it left. The grasses has really choked it out. Now that the deer tongue is starting to get under control, what raises its ugly head? Let me grab one. This stuff right here. Oh man. It's terrible. It's a constant battle with weeds. If you're a hay farmer in the southeast, good grief. It's a constant battle. It's come up with a new game plan every year for weed control. And your typical herbicide sprays won't touch this stuff because it's in the grass family. And I'm going to do a lot of research this winter to see if there's some kind of a herbicide that will just target this stuff. If you know of anything, drop a comment and let me know. I would love to hear it, what I can do besides tilling the ground to get rid of this stuff. And even at tilling, I don't think we'll get rid of it. I think I'm going to have to spot spray glyphosate, then till it and replant. I'd love to hear an alternative way. If you know, let me know. Horse owners don't like this stuff. I found that goats and sheep don't mind it that bad. Cattle, they'll eat it. Horses, their mouth is very tender and soft and they don't care for this stuff. Got to get rid of it because our customers are 50-50 goat owners who own dairy goats and horse owners. The dairy goats won't mind this stuff that bad, the horses will. All right, it's getting up in the evening, the sun's starting to set back here on the tree line. Let's get this mower out of the field, parked under our equipment shed and get our tedder hooked up and get back here and get this tedded out. Okay, drum mower's cleaned up, blew off, parked. We have the Rhino PT207 tedder hooked up to the Kubota. Let's get this hay tedded. what I just seen crawling around in the hay out here. A solid black woolly worm. I'm not sure what folklore and things you hear in your area, but I've always heard from the old timers, a solid black woolly worm means a bad winter's coming. Drop some comments. Let me know if you've ever heard that. He survived the cutting and the tedding. Tough little booger. Tedding's complete. First tedding. Boy, this hay's thick. The hay field back here is coming along good. We got still got some weed issues we're going to have to deal with. Everything ran good. The Kubota and the Rhino PT207 tedder ran really good. We are 3/4 through our season. We're looking for one more cut off of our test plot, which will be number 4 for that field. 4 cuts, which will be a record for us off that test plot. The main hay field, we're hoping to get one more, which will be the 3rd cut off that. That's more than we've ever got. We've only ever had 2 cuttings off that main hay field in 1 year. We're hoping this year to get 3. Last year, the reclaimed hay field really, as far as last year, didn't count. We baled some off of it, but it was just a trial to get rid of some hay off the field that we needed off for winter. And it had just been bush hogged 3 or 4 weeks before that, so that really didn't count. But this is the 2nd cutting off this field for this year. Last year, our hay bale number totals, and we are 2/3 through this year. We are already 50 bales ahead of all of last year. And hopefully, we're gonna have one more good cut off of every field we got. So numbers can only keep climbing from there. And bear in mind, quantity is not our goal here. Quality is. But that being said, if you can maintain your high quality, you want to get as much of it as you can. It'd be crazy not to. So this is still a work in progress. This hay is not going to be as high quality as the rest of our hay, but it's still going to be decent hay. It's going to make pretty decent bales of hay. So we done soil test back in the fall, and we probably will again this coming fall. But regardless, unless it just says our pH level is extremely high, and I seriously doubt that it is, because we still have some broom sedge in places coming up and some weeds that I think that if the pH level was up higher would help eliminate some of this. I think our liming really helped with the deer tongue, and fertilizing our good cool season grasses to choke that out. I think this coming year we're going to put just a little more lime back here, because we tried that in our test plot and it done very good. We had good results from that test. Hence, that's what we do in the test plot. We take what works there, bring it to other areas. Putting a little more lime on that test plot worked. I think we're going to do the same thing here. Now, that's for our soil. Your soil may be very different. Don't go just throwing all kinds of tons of lime all over your field thinking, hey, it worked for him, it'll work for me. Your soil's different from ours. I'm almost sure, unless you're my neighbor somewhere really close that has the same type soils we do. So I think we're going to lay a little more lime back here. Everything went really well. We've got a really good forecast for the next 7-8 days. The only bad thing about our forecast we have coming up is our highs are only going to be in the low 70s. Like 70, 71, 72. but they're calling for hardly no chances of rain and plentiful sunshine, and a little bit lower humidity. Now our dews of the mornings have been really heavy, but we'll stay on top of tedding it, and we're probably going to need 5 full days for this because it's really thick, and we're not going to have that high solar radiant heat of temperatures up in the high 80s and 90s like we do at other times of the year for our dry down. So I'm almost sure we'll have to have at least 5 days, and we got a good forecast for about 7. So I think I noticed one day in about 3 days, they're saying our high temperature for that day will be like 67 for the high. And lows in the 50s. Some of them approaching 40s, but in the 50s, and highs in the low 70s, 70, 71, 72, in that range. So I'm almost positive we'll have to have 5 days of dry down. So thanks for being with us. We really appreciate it. We'll bring you back as we do more work here on the reclaimed hayfield. We'll ted this probably a couple more times because it is super thick and the temperatures are going to be down. It'll help us with dry down. When this hay starts getting drier and drier, we'll ted it softer and more gentle at a low RPM and a little faster speed. Of course, we can't do very fast speeds on this field because of the degree of slope, but we can lower our RPMs way down and ted it as gently as possible. And we'll do that when it starts drying more. But we'll bring you back for the raking and baling, hopefully in about 5 days. Thanks for being with us. We really appreciate it. We got the best subscribers on YouTube. Y'all are fantastic. Great comments y'all leave all the time. I do not worry about rude comments and vulgarity in the comments. Y'all are just fantastic. I really appreciate our subscribers. Thank you. And we pray that God blesses you and your family, and hope y'all have a fantastic day.